Imagine being one of Donald Trump's most fiercely loyal allies, and suddenly you're faced with an impossible choice: protect the former president or protect yourself. For years, Trump's inner circle has projected absolute, unshakable confidence. They insisted they had absolutely nothing to fear from the countless investigations swirling around them. But right now, a critical question has emerged, and one of the most prominent names in that orbit is staring down a moment that could literally change everything. A federal judge has reportedly made it crystal clear legal games and endless delays won't work forever. If investigators demand answers, a massive, life-altering decision looms. Do you cooperate, or do you risk severe personal legal consequences? To truly grasp why this matters so much, we first have to understand the man at the center of this storm. The loyalist. Just who is Kash Patel? Kash Patel isn't just another former official. He evolved into one of Donald Trump's absolutely most trusted defenders during the most controversial moments of his presidency. And public opinion on him is sharply divided. On one side, his supporters see a fearless fighter taking on the deep state. On the other, his critics see someone who defends Trump regardless of the actual evidence. But whether he's admired or heavily scrutinized, his influence is undeniable. But that's only part of the story. Rising tension. The Mar-a-Lago documents. Here is where things become even more interesting. Investigators are currently trying to piece together a very specific, high-stakes puzzle. Who knew what? Who exactly handled these classified documents? And crucially, what decisions were being made behind closed doors? Because Patel so publicly defended the handling of those documents on television, prosecutors reportedly believe he holds vital, first-hand information. But here is the catch, and it's where the stakes change dramatically. Defending actions on cable news is one thing. Giving testimony under oath is something completely different. It's a formal legal promise to tell the truth. If you make statements that are proven false, you are looking at severe criminal consequences, like perjury. The legal reality, the judge's ultimatum. According to recent court reporting, the judge overseeing this matter has shown zero patience for anyone dodging questions. Patel's defense team initially leaned heavily on executive privilege. That's the right claimed by presidents and senior officials to withhold information from public or judicial scrutiny. But the court delivered a straightforward message that completely shattered this defense shield. If the law requires testimony, political loyalty is simply not a valid legal reason to avoid it. Once you step into that courtroom and are compelled to testify, there is absolutely no room for political slogans or television talking points. Only facts. The courtroom strips away any room for political maneuvering. Every single word matters. And what happens next is a serious dilemma. The calculation, where politics meets the law. As the walls of this investigation close in, Patel is being forced into an agonizing binary choice. If he refuses to cooperate, the primary risk is legal, leading to serious penalties, potentially costing him his own freedom. But if he fully cooperates, the risk is intensely political. He could be seen as committing a massive betrayal by Trump's strongest supporters. History shows us that loyalty in politics usually only lasts until the legal pressure becomes personal. And naturally, the public reaction to this dilemma is just as polarized. Supporters argue Patel is being unfairly targeted simply because of his close connection to Trump, viewing the entire probe as politically motivated. Critics, meanwhile, argue the exact opposite. They say no public official gets special treatment, and anyone with relevant information has to testify just like any other citizen. The real question is, how does this play out? Well, there are a few possible paths forward. 1, he could fully cooperate with investigators. 2, he could continue challenging specific parts of the probe in court. Or 3, he could simply await new, unforeseen legal developments. Legal experts are watching every single hearing incredibly closely, because just one ruling on any of these paths could completely flip the direction of the entire case. The macro view. What happens next? If we zoom out for a second, the historical stakes here are monumental. This case asks a defining question for the country. Where does presidential power end and the justice system begin? How far can loyalty actually survive once real, personal legal consequences enter the picture? The outcome here isn't just about one man. It could set a massive precedent for all future investigations involving senior officials. This next chapter is going to affect not just Kash Patel's future, but the entire political landscape for those closest to Donald Trump. So, what happens next? Does Kash Patel fully cooperate, or does he keep fighting in court? Let us know your prediction down in the comments. And if you found this explainer valuable, be sure to like and subscribe as we continue breaking down the stories shaping our world.